Don't you just hate it when you witness something completely unbelievable and you don't get it on camera? Well, fortunately for you and me, plenty of people have captured unbelievable moments on camera, and I've rounded up some of the most astonishing clips that'll knock your socks off. From one in a million coincidences to near misses and seemingly impossible sights, sit back, relax, and enjoy as we take a look at some of the most incredible moments ever caught on camera. What in the world? While the occasional sight of a rainbow might garner moderate excitement, they are certainly nothing new. Be that as it may, take a look at this clip captured in Texas, showing a lightning strike piercing through a double rainbow. Pretty spectacular, huh? Similarly, one Redditor captured the exact moment that a rainbow actually deflected a lightning strike. As amazing as these rainbow piercers look, here's the full truth. Since rainbows are actually an optical phenomenon created by the refraction of light by water droplets, with the light then reaching your eye, rainbows aren't physical objects. So it's not physically possible for lightning to strike through or be deflected by a rainbow. That said, rainbows tend to occur in high humidity where lightning can also be more likely, occasionally resulting in the rare, perfectly timed optical illusions like we just saw. Optical illusions aside, this next clip, captured by Angela Tharp during her 4th of July celebration, shows the incredibly unlikely moment that lightning actually did strike something physical. One of their fireworks. Check it out. I mean, what are the chances? This was either extreme happenstance or Zeus was up there rooting for the US's independence. Now, it's hard to tell for certain whether the lightning struck the firework directly or occurred some distance behind it, but there's no denying that timing was freaking magical. But if you want to see an even more mesmerizing example of real-life magic, then get a load of this next video. Insane, right? But what is really going on here? Well, while it'd be easy to assume it's just the result of some clever video editing, these luminous lights are actually emitted from bioluminescent organisms. Bio what now? Bioluminescent organisms are essentially creatures such as plankton, bacteria, and algae that are able to emit light due to a chemical reaction between molecules of luciferin, luciferase, and oxygen. When these organisms are disturbed, such as the ones we just saw, they'll quickly react by emitting a glowing blue or green light, which, among a few reasons, might be used as a defense mechanism to startle or distract predators. Or presumably to make predators think they're simply too damn cool looking to eat. But it's not just tiny critters that have bioluminescence. Meet the bloody belly comb jelly. Try saying that 3 times fast. This deep-sea creature is somewhat of an enigma, what with it dwelling thousands of feet below the surface of the North Pacific Ocean, and was only first discovered in 2001. Incredibly, these alien-like creatures are able to morph into different shapes and light up thanks to their bioluminescent abilities. Just take a look at this otherworldly creature in action. Spooky, right? Due to its rows of tiny comb-like plates, it's able to propel its way through the water, and it can seamlessly shapeshift, turning its whole body into a mouth to consume prey. Unfortunately, though, its malleability means it's very soft, and this particular specimen met a rather unpleasant end at the hands of the thrusters of the remote-operated submarine that filmed it. Well, spaghettified in an instant. So it goes. Bye-bye, little underwater LED alien. We hardly knew ye. Moving from that tragic scene back to the surface world and beyond now, arguably one of the biggest wonders of our world is the very thing that sustains life. That's the sun, of course. And while it might be pretty difficult to look at, what with it emitting a cornea scorching amount of light, Redditor Nicholas Gunner 1 managed to film the sun through their solar telescope showing it up close and personal in an unforgettable time lapse. The result is a truly mesmerizing sight most of us never get the chance to observe. As you can see, it's pretty astonishing. Those black spots, called sunspots, appear dark because they're cooler compared to other parts of the sun's surface, which burns at a staggering 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Those arching streams are small solar flares, magnetic explosions caused by the crossing of magnetic field lines near sunspots. Whoa, who knew so much was going on up there? But what is the sun without the moon? After spending 3 years studying the moon's alignment in the night sky, photographer Leonardo Sens caught this incredible shot of Christ the Redeemer seemingly holding the moon in Brazil. He's got the whole world in his hands. Well, close enough. But now let's head far south of the warm Brazilian night, and if you've ever wondered just how severe storms can be in Antarctica, feast your eyes on this clip of a woman who regrettably opened her door during a blizzard. Yep, probably best to not have a pet cat if you live in Antarctica. With winds that reach up to 200 miles per hour in extreme conditions, Antarctica is extremely unforgiving. And all I can say is big props to whoever built the hinges for that door. Moving on, this next clip shows a container full of ferrofluid, which, if you didn't know, is a special liquid usually consisting of minuscule particles of iron or other magnetic compounds surrounded in oil. The shape of ferrofluid can be manipulated by electromagnetic fields, and when an electromagnet is set up such that it changes its electromagnetic field with the beat, volume, or sound frequency of a piece of music, the amazing liquid can even be encouraged to dance. Some pretty groovy moves, huh? As the electromagnetic field shape changes, the magnetized particles are pulled along with it, creating something almost hard to believe is real. Though I have to ask, does it kind of remind anyone else of Squidward's dance routine? Now, if I may, with all of these wondrous sights so far aside, if you ask me, the biggest wonder of my world is, of course, my beautiful viewers. So, if it wouldn't be too much to ask, it'd be real swell if you'd like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Now let's get back to it. Crows and crows. When we think about pets, we usually tend to think of domesticated animals such as cats and dogs. But there are plenty of people with more eccentric companions, as one young Irish woman, Abby Cashman Lynch, found when she hopped in a taxi. She soon discovered that the taxi driver, Rory McHugh, had a little friend that was a pet crow. And not just any crow, one that flies beside his car waiting to be fed. Don't believe me? Take a look at the clip Abby captured.
Wait, is that actually your crow?
That's my crow.
Wait, I'm so confused.
White crow. He's a crow. He lives right here. He's a white crow. And he gets fed.
Incredible, huh? As astonishing as this is, it's not surprising considering crows are known to be highly intelligent creatures. In fact, not only do they have an intelligence comparable to the average 7-year-old, but they can even recognize human faces and remember your behavior. So it makes sense that this crow would remember that Rory is the generous taxi man that gives it treats. Hey Rory, I'm pretty hungry too. Caw-caw! Caw-caw! What are the odds? Whether you put it down to happenstance or perhaps believe it to be the will of the universe, sometimes in life there are moments that completely defy all the odds. And with that in mind, coming up now are potentially some of the luckiest people alive, all caught on camera. For instance, this clip captured in North Carolina shows an unsuspecting SUV driving down a quiet road. However, what happened next was like something from a James Bond flick. That really was a close call. I mean, just imagine casually cruising by a potential death trap and escaping by a matter of mere milliseconds. Now that's badass. In a similar occurrence of impossible luck, check out this image posted to Reddit showing how, Thanks to a curve in a tree's trunk, one car evaded being completely wrecked. In fact, it just so happens trees can be very polite in how they go about collapsing. Several instances of these unbelievable moments of fortunate tree falling have been shared online, and with luck like that, I would advise anyone who experiences such a thing to go and buy as many lottery tickets as they can afford. Likewise, yet arguably more nail-biting, however, is this next clip posted to Reddit, which shows, well, I'll let you see it for yourself. Yikes. Pretty mind-boggling to think how if the car was just a hair closer, or the crane a tad lower, there could have been total devastation. Not to mention that the guy was almost given the old 1-2 by the crane. As heartwarming as it is to see someone's flash car being spared from wreckage, this next incredible moment shows the truly astounding twist that occurred when a man in Pakistan saved a helpless dog during a flood. As you just saw, both the man and dog were split seconds from being washed down the flood of water. Needless to say, the guy showed up just in the nick of time. As we all know, there's nothing more emotionally damaging than a dog dying. I mean, Marley and me. Need I say more? The heroic acts continue now as skateboarder Marc-Andre Seguin shares on TikTok the unbelievable moment he effortlessly saved a little girl from injury. Check it out. That was as smooth as it gets. But in a similar vein of incredible timing, this next little guy is arguably the smoothest operator. 11-year-old Jacob was attempting to tease his younger brother, 7-year-old Cam, by racing to the house and locking him out. But Cam's superhero-like reflexes weren't going to let that happen. He shoots, he scores! But one other clip is the true king of unbelievable moments of precise, unexpected motion, and trust me, you're not going to believe what this store surveillance camera caught. I mean, what? Like seriously, what are the chances of that happening? Propelled perfectly back into place by the thrust of its own exploding fizz. My mind blown. Similarly, and perhaps just as shocking, take a look at what happened when this next guy was fishing. I need to sit down. My brain just exploded again. As you saw, the fisherman begins by tussling with a small fish, but just as he captures it and walks away, a way bigger fish literally leaps out of the water and catches itself. While the Pixar version of this story might tell you the flipper was just trying to save his pal, the reality is it's very rare for fish to jump out of water and usually occurs through confusion or evading danger. Be that predators, high ammonia or nitrate levels, or otherwise, this fish's day is probably about to get worse. But it sure made the fisherman's day better. But if you're in the mood for another fish out of water story, then just take a look at this one. Ouch. I'm left with so many unanswered questions. Like, how did this happen? Did the guy fall into the water and re-emerge with a fish stuck to his butt? Or did the fish jump out of the water and bite the guy's hiney? Worse yet, why is no one helping him? Break a leg. Back in 2020, TikToker Lizzie Jane was preparing for an important audition at a theater school in New York. Understandably, this was quite a big deal for her, so she decided to film herself singing so that she could evaluate her performance. Only midway through her performance, there was, as they say in show business, a showstopper.
god!
Can we consider that a standing ovation? Or what? I guess she took the old theater saying, break a leg, a little too seriously. All jokes aside, there's a lot to unpack here. Who is that? How did it happen? And most importantly, are they okay? Well, in a follow-up video, Lizzie explained all. You see, her mom was rummaging around up in the attic, which doesn't have a proper floor, but just spaced out wooden beams. Wearing some flip-flops, which evidently had a little too much flip to their flop, she slipped and fell in between the beams with her leg crashing through Lizzie's ceiling. While literally falling through a ceiling might sound fairly dangerous, Lizzie's mom was completely fine. Just a little startled, to say the least. My favorite part is how if you look closely, you can see the flip-flop in question fall right down. So not only are flip-flops a crime against fashion, but ceilings too. The circle of life. Being at the top of the food chain, it's easy for us humans to forget that most other animals will spend their entire lives avoiding being another animal's dinner. Take rabbits, for example. They're naturally a prey animal with a bunch of animals lined up ready to tuck into them. And I don't think there's any video to better demonstrate that than this next one. Ouch. That's unfortunate, as we just saw that poor rabbit had fallen victim to a hungry cat, but was given a miraculous shot at freedom. But as quickly as liberty was given, so was it taken away, as the rabbit gets yoinked out of nowhere by an owl. Ah, the circle of life. Honestly though, it's not exactly like birds are known for being well-mannered. Just check out this next clip.
Nothing better than down a beer and a snag.
Yep, that was a kookaburra, one of Australia's native birds, which seemed to have no reservations about thievery. I guess you could say this human's barbecued sausage or snag was well and truly snagged. On the bright side, somewhere out there, there's a family of birds enjoying a lovely summer's barbecue. But the unbelievable avian rudeness doesn't end there. It seems that when birds aren't stealing your food, they're quite literally on you from above. Now that's unlucky. But anyone know where I can get this doorbell from? That ought to keep my ex-wife away. Go away, Sharon! Fluke or flare? Hand-eye coordination can be pretty difficult. Heck, I could have made the cheer squad if it weren't for my wildly disproportionate eyes and hands. Whatever these things are. However, some people just seem to have a knack for coordination, whether that be complete fluke or calculated flair. For instance, check out Hayden English. As an aspiring professional bowler, he is taken to Instagram to wow people with his impressive skills. So much so, he's even able to score a strike from a gutter ball. Some insane skills, huh? Unfortunately, by bowling rules, if a ball enters the gutter, it's out of play, so technically this doesn't count. Arguably more impressive, though, is 5-year-old Atlas Don Young, who is a mini golf whiz. Don't believe me? Well, take a look for yourself. Is it skill, pure luck, or perhaps a bit of both? Despite his erratic technique, Atlas repeatedly scores hole-in-one, suggesting he really is as incredible as he seems. From golfing to basketball, this next clip comes from TikToker Lasco, who, after taking a long shot, caught an unbelievable moment on camera. Seems the table gave him a little helping hand right there. But where some people simply fluke, others have well-tuned skills. Take for example this German Oktoberfest waitress at a beer hall in Munich. With plenty of thirsty patrons, the skilled waitress hauled at least 12 beers, by my count, with just her 2 hands and 0 spills. And while I am nonetheless impressed, I have to admit I'm more of a cosmopolitan guy myself. Moving on to more incredibly skillful moments caught on camera, I think it's fair to say that skill is this next guy's middle name. I mean, if we just look at that again in slow motion, we can see how he is somehow able to divide the motion between the tomatoes in the basket, allowing the tomatoes to continue on with their momentum in one direction while the basket gets pulled in the other, which I imagine is much harder than he makes it look. But if we're talking about skill-intensive jobs, we have to talk about pilots, which is commonly ranked as one of the most difficult out there. And as if navigating at high altitudes and being solely responsible for potentially hundreds of people's lives wasn't difficult enough already, try landing a plane on a runway that is about half the length of a standard one. Yep, the runway at Greece's Skiathos Airport is just 5,341 feet long. For perspective, typical runways can be anywhere between 8,000 and 13,000 feet long. As a result, pilots are forced to approach landing at Skiathos much lower than usual. This ultimately has led many intrigued plane spotters to frequent the area, standing inches from the aircraft just to get a front row seat of the impressive show. Now that was intense. And as if landing a plane wasn't already challenging enough, let's just add in a bunch of people standing inches below a 200-ton plane. No pressure. No pressure at all. Here, there, and everywhere. We've all heard the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, right? Well, in this video, we'll be taking a look at the opposite. That is, bears coming into human houses uninvited. Thankfully, I can say in advance this doesn't result in any bears being eaten by the returning human homeowners. This first bear certainly got his fill, however. Having broken into a house in Colorado and chomped down some pork chops, this big guy did the old dine and dash. Only things didn't go quite as smoothly as he intended.
Right when he comes out, I'll drive you down.
After helplessly dangling there for a while, the bear straddled his way back up through the window, wandered back through the house, and made his exit through the ground floor window that he presumably entered through. Boy, the other bears are never going to believe him when he gets back. Bears, however, are not just pork poaching trespassers, they're musicians too, apparently. Yet again in Colorado, which is home to upwards of 17,000 bears, Katie Hawley arrived home only to find her kitchen and living room had been completely ravaged. Assuming it to be the work of a robber, she immediately called the police. But after reviewing her home surveillance footage, she found the perpetrator was a lot furrier than she expected, not to mention musical too. A brief tune, certainly, but any true musician knows that less is more. I wonder what that was a rendition of. The 12 Bear Blues? Bear de Lune? Beethoven? Okay, I'll stop. I can't bear to come up with any more bear puns. Moving on to yet another bear encounter, a surveillance camera in California, which by the way is home to a staggering 30,000 bears, caught the nail-biting moment an Amazon delivery driver was greeted by an unexpected guest.
Hey guys, stop right now. There's a bear right there. There is a bear right there. Can you hear me? Oh, he sees it. That's a bear. Back away.
As you just saw, the homeowner spotted the bear as the delivery driver approached, warning him to stop and back away. However, not one to be intimidated by a huge bear, the delivery driver took matters into his own hands.
Go back to your car. That's fine.
And just like that, the bear was gone. Incredibly, the guy used the tried and true technique of making himself look bigger in order to intimidate the bear. Which, if you ask me, seems like a little bit of an overreaction when the bear was probably just trying to sign for the parcel. God, people are so quick to judge these days. Special delivery. If you ask me, home delivery is the peak of human evolution. Where our ancestors once would have had the anxiety of fighting off beastly animals in order to eat, these days the only anxiety we experience is if our DoorDash is 5 minutes behind schedule. With just a few taps, you can have food delivered right to your doorstep. Or if you're anything like this next guy, your window.
There's no way he's going to throw that pizza up, or he is. He's f***ing launching the pizza. What the f***? There's more that he's going to throw up. Oh my god, this guy's on the ledge.
What's that? Now he's answered.
No.
Is he going to throw the money down?
He's throwing the money down.
There are a million ways that could have gone wrong, but sometimes the universe delivers a moment of pure swish. But it's not the only delivery that went smoother than a slip and slide across Terry Crews's head. When a delivery driver left someone's parcel on a porch out in the open, Mother Nature took matters into her own hands to make sure the parcel was safe and sound. Lifting the mat and blowing the parcel under at the same time? I mean, does Mother Nature have to do everything around here? Animal hijinks. Being a presenter is hard. Trust me, we're more than just pretty voices, okay? Anyway, back in 2022, Kenyan news presenter Alvin Kaunda was presenting a story about the human impact on the environment and the welfare of elephant families. However, as Alvin's heartfelt plea unfurled, so did something else.
The place where they discover and are taught life's lessons, experience love, and grapple with loss. And even for millions of other species, home hangs in the balance. Human actions are destroying habitats, decimating our entire ecosystem and disrupting the circle of life. And with the rise in drought cases, it is up to us to be guardians of our own natural world, save our wild species, and provide a home.
I mean, talk about the elephant in the room. But if you ask me, he did well to keep it together for as long as he did. Alvin explained how he'd already done around 10 takes, so he was hoping this one would be the one and tried to just ignore the elephant who was trying to go nose to nose with him. Now sure, an elephant's floppy trunk is something you'd rather not have in your face, but I guarantee the outcome of this next clip of animal manure being tidied is far more unappealing.
Oh, she's going.
That could have gone worse. A whole heap of manure to the face. Sometimes life does, quite literally, shit on you. Spider baby. Amongst the likes of flying and heights, the fear of spiders, or rather arachnophobia, is one of the most common phobias. So if you're a spider phobe, then you might want to look away. We're taking a look at wolf spiders. They're known for pouncing on their insect prey like wolves, hence the name. However, what's more intriguing is the way in which they have babies. You see, a mother wolf spider will lay hundreds of eggs and carry them around in a sack until they're ready to hatch. Eventually, they'll hatch in groups of anywhere between 100 to 300, yet only about half of these tiny spider babies will survive into adulthood. But while they're growing up, they'll stay herded on their mother's back, forming a mega cluster of spiders which would send your average arachnophobe into a coma. Oh, jeez. Come to think of it, I'm starting to feel a little lightheaded. Let's get out of here. And that, guys and dolls, is all for today. Let me know down in the comments which incredible moment was most incredibilicious to you, and feel free to share any of your own. Catch you all in the next one.